Tarzan. What am I doing here? Alone? With you? Perhaps I better not think too much about that. Not a bit afraid. Not a bit sorry.
He's coming up underneath you!
He's going under your raft!
Watch out, hold!
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Wednesday Night Scream Stream minisode. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friends, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
And Mr. Fresh Rogan.
I'm so ready for Cars 2.
Yeah, because it's definitely, as we were discussing coming in to the intro, Cars 2, due to a copyright snafu from Disney, is in fact public domain. So that's what we're watching tonight. April Fools? No, it's not even April. No.
June Fools.
Sorry, Fresh. No, I tricked you. I got your hopes up. Unfortunately, I lied. And copyright still applies to Cars 2. So, I know.
I wanted to see Mater.
Well, who doesn't want to see Mater? Mater is one of the classic all-time characters from cinema. American cinema history. We love Mater.
We're gonna watch Tarzan, right?
Yes. Well, Tarzan it's still in post-production right now. Actually, it's still not out yet, but they're
the parking lot.
They're just gonna put it in a public domain. So then we'll watch Tarzan.
You've heard of straight to DVD. This is straight to public domain.
Straight to public domain. Some people do that. No poop jokes. They do that. They just, and it's more common with like music and other pictures, other things, but every once in a while there's some film, some shorts or
Actually,
can't think of some
it is
features.
Not public domain. It's Creative Commons 0.
Oh, yeah, that's 0. Very good. Yes. Oh, that's very, very astute, Fresh. Yeah, no, you're actually 100% right. Got to give the right attribution, or else Um, no, tonight we are getting into another exciting chapter of Undersea Kingdom, the second chapter of Undersea Kingdom, which is a 12 chapter serial starring Ray Crash Corrigan. And it's so far, I mean, as serials
Making
go,
quite the splash.
a lot of exposition up top, and then once that first cliffhanger comes, then it's just nothing but action. I don't know that for sure. At least with Flash Gordon, that's kind of how it seemed. The first episode, very, very talky, and next thing you know, we're just zooming around, all over planet Mungo and giving Ming a run for his money. And it was a lot of fun. But this time, we're zooming around Atlantis under the sea.
Kind of under the sea.
Kind of under the sea. It's like, how would you guys describe it?
It's like there's a hidden place in the middle of the ocean that's not underwater.
Right.
That's what it's
You
like.
could say it's beneath the ocean floor.
Was that the title of the first chapter?
That was last week's episode.
That was last week's, of course. Beneath, and that very appropriate title, because that's what's beneath the ocean floor. There's actually this entire ecosystem that you don't learn about in school when they're teaching you about the layers of the earth. There's actually the hidden layer. But if I start going into that, then we'll just be on conspiracy theories all night, and we'll just never get anywhere. So,
I thought that there were supposed to be dinosaurs, in this like hidden layer under the ocean.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get those?
Could maybe. I think we're definitely going to get some robots, which I believe I did read that that's where a lot of the robots are currently being trained in that hidden layer. And so, but I'm sure there's probably some kind of prehistoric creatures, maybe some apes. I mean, again, this is a Ray Crash Corrigan vehicle. And I don't know how much information I really gave about him last week, but we've seen 2 movies with Crash Corrigan in them where he is wearing an ape suit. He plays the ape in The Ape with Boris Karloff, and he plays an ape in the Monster Maker, which the ape kind of just disappears in that one. Yeah, because not the ape costume, the giant ape costume on. He's certainly not aping around
his
here.
His hair was a little different in that one.
Just a little bit. He got a hair. This is before he let his hair grow out. And no, I mean, but that was like
that's what threw me off as well.
Yeah. I figured that might be kind of a. Now that I've told you, now you can see it in the eyes, then you can really put 2 and 2 together. But yeah, he was a popular Hollywood ape man. He was also a Western actor.
Did he start as an ape man?
Well, basically he came to Hollywood working as like a athletic trainer, basically for actors. And then eventually kind of got into stunt work, and then the trailer that we just saw for our pre-roll, Tarzan the Ape Man, is the first time that he's credited as playing an ape. So, and that was like his first movie, I think, which was 1932. So he did basically start playing an ape, and then he ended up doing a lot of westerns mostly, and we'll talk more about that later, but we've already seen him crashing into all kinds of. Yeah, he did, and we'll talk about.
It's got to be like a promotion if you go from stuntman to ape man, I think.
True, because that's what everybody wants to see.
Right? Like it's got to be an easier job, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is you get the walk down pat, and you beat your chest a little bit, and boom, ape, easy.
There you go.
Easy. The costume does most of the work, right? But he did a lot. He was in a lot of westerns, and we'll talk more about him later. We get to our break, but we're gonna be getting into tonight's episode of Undersea Kingdom, which is titled "The Undersea City," which is pretty close to the title of the whole serial. Just a little. It's a little confusing. Like just one of
terrible way to name things.
Just call it the title. This one's
is the city in the kingdom? Or is the kingdom in the city?
Right. It just gets confusing. It's like just make this the title track, and do it like an album. Makes the most sense. Now you're just confusing.
Yeah, we're gonna have one episode called Undersea Kingdom.
I know. That's what they should have done. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, it's
this is our self-titled Crash Corrigan project.
Yeah. Again, this is the first time he was billed as Crash Corrigan.
Eponymous episode.
But he said, that was one of the things I read about him. He said that he got the nickname before this. He got the nickname Crash because when he would play football, he wouldn't if there were fights or there were certain things, he would just dive in head first. So that's how he got the nickname Crash. So then
this man was born to be a stuntman.
He was just born to fly through windows and put on ape costumes and ride horses and shoot guns. And he did it all, man. He had the full life of a Hollywood stuntman. But again, this is one of his early. This is the first time he was credited as Crash Corrigan. So when we left off last week, he was literally on the edge of a cliff. And and I had to read up on the plot information because a lot of stuff slipped through the cracks last time.
With a kid, with a boy.
He was with the kid, and the kid is the son of the professor that he was with. Because this professor has basically invented this device that detects earthquakes and also can stop them. And if it's nearby, it can stop earthquakes. So he's getting all these signals from under the ocean floor near where they think Atlantis was at. So he decides to go down a submarine, and he invites Crash to go with them. And this reporter comes along to get her big scoop. And then the professor's young son snuck aboard. And so now they've made it to Atlantis, and they're being chased by the men of the tyrant of Atlantis, who is, I think his name is Unga Khan, I believe. That's as much as you need, because we will get, we watched The Phantom Creeps and Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe, and both of those had the... Well, I don't know if Phantom Creeps did the crawling text forward before the chapter starts that gives you a recap of the episode. Did Phantom Creeps also have that?
Didn't it the Star Wars text?
I know that.
I think it did, didn't it?
Yeah, I knew Flash Gordon did, but I couldn't remember. They're both by Universal, so I could see Phantom Creeps having it, but I wasn't sure. This does not use that technique. This goes with something a little more old school, but it serves the same purpose. And so you'll get a recap, but that was kind of my.
And
they hand out a flyer before the show starts.
Basically.
Basically your recap.
Mm-hmm.
And they hired people to lift it slowly in front of your face so you get the full effect.
Right. And that's why it's really shaky, as you'll see, and it gets out of focus sometimes, but no, they try.
Most of these serials, I've noticed that everything just undoes itself over and over, so it doesn't really matter if you follow anything.
Yeah, that's very true. Whatever jam you get into, you usually can get out of, especially if you're the hero. And even the bad guys don't really get their comeuppance until chapter 12. So usually it's a lot.
we're gonna start this episode and that cliff is just going to have rematerialized.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It turns out it's a rematerializing cliff.
Yeah,
hey, it's Atlantis.
Yeah,
Things work different down here, buddy.
The professor has a rematerializing ray. That's what it is. I mean,
yeah, that's his other invention.
Mm-hmm. He's got them all. His jacket pocket.
Now?
Yeah. I mean,
my Cliffinator.
Yeah, that's great name. Great name. That's exactly the kind of inventiveness that this professor, the kind of charisma he's giving off. That's exactly what he would name that invention. I don't even remember his name, but we'll get it in the recap. So I think if you boys have it queued up.
Yep.
And we are going to go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of Undersea Kingdom, the Undersea City, right now.
I didn't say I had it queued up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he wasn't ready.
I'm not ready.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Where are we at? Unga Khan.
Unga Khan.
Jesus fucking Christ. And his brother Bunga Khan.
Unga Bunga. Yep, Unga and Bunga. Perfect.
These look like obituaries.
Dude. I mean, this is very much like silent movie style. Like, I'm sure this is how they were doing because there were serials in silent movie days. I'm sure this is exactly what their title cards looked like.
A go-getting newspaper girl. And young Billy Norton.
Yeah, you gotta love that.
Died way too young.
R.I.P. Deedly 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 deedly. Whoa. Nice.
I like how they all use the same, like, we're just gonna scratch the film effect to make the electricity.
It's good. It's perfect.
Yeah, it looks really good. Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog is watching now.
Whoa.
Bow. This goes kind of hard, man. Bow, down, down, down.
Jesus. Got a lot of machines doing a lot of whirring and buzzing.
A lot of science going on down
Yeah,
there.
a whole lot of science.
We got rays of all kinds.
Uh-oh. Whoa. Whoa! See, I'm trying to tell if that's actually a kid or just a stuntman, a very small stuntman. I love these robots. They're like, their legs are like, what is that stuff? It's like your dryer, like,
The dryer hose.
yeah.
At least those mechanical men can't follow us through those flames.
It's oh, if that's all it takes to make a good robot, I'll get right on it.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Are you sure this is the lost continent?
Just think, you're only ever one trip away to Lowe's from Perfect Robot.
That's true. It's really true.
1,000 feet below the ocean. Boy, I'd like to explore that city.
You just need a metal trash can and 2 dryer hoses. Yeah, see, what you don't know is they can ride those down there because they're seahorses.
Oh, very good. Very good. That's great. Should have seen that one coming from a mile away.
So what does that make these guys?
Seamen. Sea horsemen.
Sea horseman. Oh my god.
Sea horseman, Esquire.
That's what I've always wanted to
These
see.
guys who aren't on horses.
Seahorses strapped to a chariot.
See a lot of horses. They got a lot of people for this.
I mean, again, dude, this is like the golden age of Hollywood serial making. You just got all these people out in the desert riding around on horseback.
Look, people on horseback in the desert, they're a dime a dozen.
They
You throw a stone without hitting a person on horseback in the desert.
in those days, you don't realize how true that was. Wow.
Okay. Open the gate. Close the gate. Open the gate a little ways.
The magnificent gates of Atlantis.
Yep.
Lost kingdom of the ocean.
Just how I always imagined them to be. Whoa.
Damn. Get out of my way. I'm walking in here.
He's very important.
Strange captives. Who are they? We believe them to be agents of Unga Khan.
Unga
Peace in
Khan.
Atlantis.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Evil usurper, Unga Khan.
Well, who is this? The Pope of Atlantis?
He looks like they bedazzled a chef's hat.
They are alive.
I want the electricity throne.
I know. Come on.
That looks so cool.
Force and recapture the prisoners at any cost.
Yeah, Unga Khan is a lot more... He's not as intimidating as Ming. And, like, not to be... You know... Not to be mean. But it doesn't help. He's a little pudgier than Ming. You know? Ming cut a menacing figure. In many ways.
That's why they're trying to get athletic trainer Crash Oregon.
That's right.
Personal trainer.
Follow me.
And they're riding so fast.
Dude, it is crazy the stunts that people use. Like, it was obviously you see it more in westerns, but that's most of these guys are probably just western stunt actors, and they could do all kinds of tricks on horseback. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I saw one. They were like throwing a lit stick of dynamite back and forth between the two horses.
I believe it.
Yeah, you call it hot hoof.
Whoa.
That's great.
Crash, just throw your noggin into him. Come on, just you know, headbutt him out of the.
Pretending he's going fast.
Yeah. Ah. Uh-oh.
That's a pretty terrible prisoner transport.
Oh my God, they are going so
Put him
fast.
on a chariot.
Yeah. They won't jump out or anything. They won't run off.
Yeah, we put 2 of them with 1 driver. It should be fine.
Oh my god!
Jeez.
My goodness! Whoa!
Yeah.
Let's take a break right there. Let's go ahead and take a break right there. That's about the middle, right when that fucking thing pulls
Here
up.
come the robots.
I'm at 4154, by the way. So that was the exciting beginning of the Undersea City. What do we think so far?
So remember how the other serials we've watched, there's always a lot of running around.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I fear we might be getting into the running around cycle.
But is it any more interesting if they're on horseback for a majority of the time?
Honestly, a little bit. It's a little bit better.
Now they're horsing around instead of running around.
Yeah, we're just horsing around.
Yeah, I guess definitely better than Phantom Creeps, just seeing them drive around in the big, giant, rickety cars chasing each other all up and down the turnpike or wherever the hell they were, they were just in the same triangle for 10 episodes. And then you cap it off with some Hindenburg footage and you're good. Here, I mean, I'd say it's a little more comparable to Flash Gordon, but I would say with Flash Gordon, I think that the spaceships got a little boring after a while. He just kind of always did the same things, just shooting sparks out the back.
Are we going back to the sub anytime soon, do you think?
I don't think so. I feel like we're
probably
here.
Not, right? We're probably just stuck down here.
Yeah, I think after this they go to the Dom. After this part.
Go to the Dom. Wow.
That's what I was reading in the synopsis. But I might have been looking at like a parody spinoff or something.
It's good.
Right. No. Then they end up above the ocean floor.
Right. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I gotta appreciate that they're breaking out all the horses that the studio has to spare here, because that's what it looks like. I mean, you must have about 20 to 30 people on horseback, which means 20 to 30 horses speeding around through the desert. It's, again, that's why people loved watching those westerns back in the day, because you're just watching people glide around on horseback and jump off of horses or jump off of cliffs and tackle people and beat people up and have shootouts and all that stuff. So
it seems to me that old-timey film sets were not very safe, or at least not as safe. Is that true?
The thing is, with the way that the Hollywood system is, I doubt that there was really great record keeping when it came to on-set accidents. I think there were probably a whole lot, especially with, again, the studio that made this is a Poverty Row studio, and I think that I'm sure that you've got a horse that gets injured every now and again, or somebody gets thrown off of a horse and literally gets like every bone in their body broken, or I
feel like you have 50 guys running full tilt on these horses. Something like it's just got to happen at some point.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were trained, because you got to think, like, basically from when Hollywood really started to become a thing in, like, the early 1910s, like, somewhere between like 1912 and 1914, like, studios start popping up out there. Westerns were immediately a thing, right? Like, I mean, again, the first, like,
they're in the right place.
Yeah, they were in the perfect. I think that's part of the reason they went out to California, because, I mean, again, think about it. One of the first, like, most popular commercial films was The Great Train Robbery, right? Western movie. So Hollywood, when it was, kind of formed at its inception, Westerns were always a big part of it. So at this point, like you're talking about 20 years later, so you probably have a lot of people who are very experienced stunt writers. And even then, I mean, you had Wild West shows, which were really popular all over the country, for decades before this. So a lot of people just kind of have the skill. I know it sounds crazy to like that you have the skill to do stunt riding, and you had the skill to do, well, like,
I mean, if you're getting paid to do anything, you're a professional. So I guess you can be a professional horse rider.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, I think every stuntman would have loved to have had the career that Crash Corrigan had, because, I mean, he ended up leading like 2 different Western series of films, which a piece he was in like 20 movies for like each series. So like there was one series where his character is just again named Ray Crash Corrigan, and again 20 movies, and they were all Westerns,
Playing
right?
himself.
Playing himself just in Western, in a Western town. Riding around with his gang, and taking care of
bad man around.
Right. So it was weird because like he like really he got a lot of work doing Poverty Row Westerns, and then every once in a while he'd be in a horror movie playing an ape. And but the way that he really made it was the year after the serial that we're watching, Undersea Kingdom. That was when he bought his own movie ranch. And again, I think I talked about it last week. He had a movie ranch called Corriganville, and they shot a lot of Westerns there because basically a movie ranch was an all-in-one Western. It was basically a Western town. It had had a saloon, had all the different things that locations you'd want for a Western movie. And it had all the costumes and the horses and everything. So, I mean, he filmed a lot of his own movies that he was in at the ranch, but then tons of like studios and other productions would rent his ranch. So he was just making a shit ton of money off of owning his own ranch, which is, again, it's kind of crazy, like that he had enough money to be able to kind of like basically have a production facility that he ran, and then on the weekends he'd rent it out as like for like tours to the public, and he'd put on like Wild West shows for like the public to come and watch, so he's just raking in all the dough that he could from his movie ranch. So you gotta.
I feel like that's gotta be like the dream of anybody who's just involved in westerns and stunt riding and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah. I mean, again,
having your own little rodeo.
Yeah.
Your own little town.
I mean, again, Evan, you think about Wild Bill, the Western actor that we met. We met one of these guys, and he made it happen. He made his own little Western town that people would, come and visit. The public would visit, and he'd put on shows, and you'd film movies
he built
there.
It, and they came.
Yep, that's very true. It was something else. So it's definitely a dream, I think you're right, of anybody that's in a Western. You'd love to just be in that position. And so you can make it happen. But Crash did.
Then you're the sheriff.
Yeah, then I mean, really.
And the mayor and the saloon proprietor and every other little old Western role you want to be.
Could you imagine just like the lonelier you are, the more you're just pretending to be every character in the town. Do
you think that's what Wild Bill did when he got bored?
He was putting on different costumes and going around and playing. I mean, come on, wouldn't you?
What's the point of having your own little Western town if you're not gonna have a whole closet full of hats and costumes?
I mean, yeah, you're basically like a kid again. You're playing dress up. You're making make believe. You're just doing. You're just having fun. So We can all only hope to be so lucky when we get older. But yeah, Crash.
Someday we'll own our own town too.
We will. Mine'll be horror movie themed though. So it won't be, and I'll also rent it out for the public to come and see, and we'll shoot movies there. It'll be a lot of fun.
You can be all the character. You can be the mad scientist and the assistant,
right?
And
the monster, and the townspeople, the angry villagers,
and the young couple.
Yep, I'll do it all. I'm ready. Yeah, I mean that's the dream. And so Crash Corrigan achieved that dream, and so we're gonna see the a trailer for the series that he was in where he played himself under his name, Crash Corrigan. And the series is the same name as this first movie, which is The Range Busters. So, and I don't know if it was shot at Corriganville. I feel like it probably was. I feel like since he's the star of the movie, I feel like you got to be filming at his ranch, right? You probably get some kind of discount. You would hope. It was a Monogram series. Monogram, we've seen some of their horror movies. They did a lot of the Lugosi horror movies and things like that. So I'm sure Corrigan let him use his ranch and gave him a discount. And so yeah, I mean. Then the second trailer we're going to see is from The Ape. So we see the other pastime that Corrigan had, which was playing a giant ape. Not a giant ape, just an ape. I don't know why I said giant ape.
Regular sized.
Just regular
standard
size.
issue ape.
Standard issue ape. Of course, we've seen The Ape, and it stars Boris Karloff, and it's on our YouTube channel at Scream Stream Live. You can go check that out. So we're going to go to this break, and then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting conclusion of The Undersea City. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Meet the new daredevils of the saddle. Monogram's thrill trio of troubleshooters together for the first time. 3 shooting stars. Ray Corrigan as Crash. John King as Dusty. Max Terhune as Alibi in their first fast, furious crashing adventure.
You know those 3 hombres? No. See that they don't hang up their hats in this town. Now look, I've tried to be fair with you. I'll forget to be if you start any accusations.
Let go of me.
What's the trouble? Seems like the lady don't want to talk to you. Yeah. If you want any lead, just try to draw.
Carol, where are you?
No need shouting. She can't answer you.
Take it easy till I get you out of this. Reach and don't try anything funny. Turn around.
We got to catch him prowling after dark.
Think he's still hanging around the village?
He got Mason, didn't he? And we found new tracks up around Dr. Adrian's house.
Maybe we men of science think different from other people, but if they ever find out in the village what you've been doing...
You mean about the animals?
Yes, some of the dogs have been missed.
Well, that phase of the experiment is all over. That ape seems to take a fancy to your place. Now, don't take offense, Doctor. I'm just trying to clear up my mind. Them dogs of mine have been sniffing ape for days. It's made them foolish, I guess. Else why'd they snarl at you?
Hey, Doc, what are you going to do to me?
I'm going to write you into medical history.
And we are back. So that was the Range Busters and the Ape trailers. So you got to see Crash in his ape costume there, aping around a little bit, having fun. And I think I can't remember if it was with the ape that he had upgraded his costume, or after the ape that he upgraded his costume. But he was
upgraded it in what way?
Like the jaw, so the jaw could move. Like the first costume, the jaw didn't move, and then so that was like
that way he can talk.
Right. I mean, some of these movies that require gorilla suit, they don't have to be good. They can have talking gorillas and, just really go out on a limb. Do
you think he found a better ape suit guy, or did his ape suit guy get better? Because he probably didn't make the costume himself, I'm assuming.
I don't know. I honestly don't know, because what I read online today was that at a certain point he sold his ape costume to this guy. I think his name is Steve Calvert. I probably have that wrong, but he sold the costume. So then this guy, started acting in movies wearing the costume. But then both of them are in a movie that we're actually going to be watching later this season, Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla, because there's I believe that there's scenes where there are two gorillas. So I guess they both had costumes. So
is it going to be the old and the new costume?
That's what I think it is. I think it's the old costume and the new costume. And so
so look at the mouths. We got to remember to look at the mouths.
Well, I believe he might have had he might have made a movie where there was a white gorilla. And so he might have had a costume that was totally white. Or maybe they just painted it for that movie.
Occasions.
Yeah, I think so. Only special occasions. So he really was the go-to guy, the go-to guy for your ape costumes. It's crazy to think that would.
He was the ape man, as
it
were.
Yeah, he was the real ape man. I mean, yeah, really, he was. So
honestly, he actually was.
He was. So we gotta give it up for he's the unsung classic monster actor that we don't give any credit to, because he's under that costume the whole time. We've never seen his face as a monster. So at least here we're getting to see his face as he's crashing around and zipping around on chariots, and like he just did, taking a pretty decent tumble off of the back of it. But
it looks like it hurt.
He
did not want to do that.
Had that stuntman training again. That's why I won't be disappointed if it is a bunch of riding back and forth on horseback, because at least if people are doing some stunts and some tricks, that's gonna be like thrilling to watch. It's gonna be like,
we didn't really get a lot of stunts in well, at least Phantom Creeps, I guess, and Flash Gordon there with
Yeah, Flash Gordon, you get a couple little fancy tricks every now and again, but mostly, again, the spaceships are doing the same thing. The cars in Phantom Creeps are doing the same thing. There's no I mean, they're just driving fast. Nothing crazy. So I think that we'll be in store for some fun throughout the season as they zip around under the sea on these seahorses. It's still very astute observation, Fresh. Seahorses indeed.
They are. That's what they are.
That's what they are. They are. So I'm pretty excited to see how Crash gets out of this jam that he's in. So if you boys,
these robots are getting out of this car.
Clown car. They're clowns.
Yeah, well, there's some kind of like, shrinking principle that these robots operate under. Their bodies can just
That's why
collapse
they
in on
have
themselves.
the dryer vent legs, so they
Right.
can squish down
They
and
can
collapse
collapse
their legs.
down.
Fit more into one tank. Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
exactly.
sense. Yeah. And I think it probably just opens out the back. That's what I think. It's just like like what are those boats
the
in World War
station
II?
wagon.
Or like a spaceship. Yeah.
Back door.
That's right. That's right. So we'll see. So I think if you boys have it queued up,
I do.
we're going to get into the exciting conclusion of the Undersea City right now.
It looks like you got to see it start to open before it cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the side door, it does open.
Yeah. I mean, they had
Never
to
see
cut
them
it.
getting in or out. They're just
Well, you can't.
suddenly in or suddenly out.
He was still, yeah.
That is there was
They look
something about
ridiculous.
the composition of that image that I really like. It looks like, have you guys ever seen where people will like find old paintings or something and they'll like paint new things on them?
Yeah.
That's what that looks like to me. Somebody found this painting of this person in like a wagon or a chariot or whatever, and they painted some robots on
That's
it.
so cool. I love that. You gotta imagine the
It
driver.
just makes that noise the whole time.
The driver can't see a damn thing.
He just ran after it too. How fast can Crash run?
I mean, probably pretty fast.
Shut up and let us sleep.
You fool. What?
What's the matter? Ed? Oh, don't shoot.
It does have a gun. Jeez.
Meet my friend Salty. Pleased to meet you. This is Bryony.
Just aims the gun at him.
Immediately.
How's it going?
This way? Yeah.
Much like the robot in the Phantom Creeps, this person in the costume doesn't have great control over the elements that make up the costume.
Maybe a little music would make them feel more sociable.
Dear
Nice.
God.
Nice. Yeah, this is amazing.
Robots love music.
Dang, Crash must have ran pretty fast.
Track star over here.
Leaping over rocks and practicing his high jump. I mean, he was top of his class at the Naval Academy. That's why he hasn't taken this uniform off.
He's just out here running around in his uniform.
Had not a speck of dirt on it. Not quite as elaborate as Ming's palace.
Why is our guest bound? He is no
Yeah,
prisoner.
not quite.
Release him. At once. Now I, Anga Khan, may more fittingly welcome you to my undersea kingdom of Atlantis.
Ah, he said it.
Your soldiers have already welcomed us.
They've killed my assistant and made off with my son and Lieutenant Corrigan. The soldiers who attacked you were not my men. They were followers of Sharon. This Lieutenant Corrigan you mentioned and your son have undoubtedly been made prisoners of that tyrant. They must be rescued immediately.
Kind of looks like Bela Lugosi a little bit.
Thank you.
Older Bela Lugosi.
I
Lugosi
should thank you.
still looked pretty good at this time. Pretty terrifying.
The plant has been honored by a visitor from the upper world. However, I'm curious to know how you were able to penetrate the depths of the ocean. We use a super submarine propelled by rocket.
Yep.
Which I
Yep.
especially for the purpose.
You gotta put one on the board for them. They set themselves up for that one.
Quite interesting, Professor. Do you think these rocket motors could be built powerful enough to lift this tower?
There's no limit to their size nor power. Given time and the necessary equipment, I can construct rocket motors that would raise this tower clear to the upper world.
Good. You shall start at once.
Are you actually proposing to move this huge metal tower? Why?
Turn my palace into a ship.
Which has enabled me to harness the atom, the most destructive force known to science.
Oh shit.
Once I reach the surface, I'll either become...
So this is where Oppenheimer got it from, huh?
Professor Norton would never agree to help you in such a
He got the idea on a trip to Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
We have ways out persuading people to do our bidding.
I fucking knew it.
There's your conspiracy.
Of course it involves the hidden layer in the earth, right?
Of course.
Under the sea. Oh my god, get out.
Elite athlete Crash Corrigan is going to tightrope walk into the evil hideout.
Hey, Crash, can you tightrope walk? Sure, I can try it. They just have him.
Books.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. What did he sprain his ankle doing that? He's kind of limping in there. Oh my god, he's fighting two guys at once. Oh my god, go!
Gordon do this?
No, go Crash. Holy shit.
Is he like shaking there?
Yeah. Damn, he just put his back into it. Now that's a Flash Gordon move.
Yeah.
Take their clothes.
Loot the body.
Uh-oh.
The little salute they're doing looks so silly.
Yeah, they're not the most intimidating bad guys. Damn, it's taken Crash a while, and Flash would have gone much faster putting the clothes on.
Yeah, he had those clothes off in a flash.
That's how he got the name.
And
Finally.
That's where we get the term.
You won't believe how fast I can take my clothes off.
What's the point of putting on the other uniform if you're just gonna bust in shooting anyway?
Immediately.
You just
for the fashion.
Yeah.
To change in costume.
Yeah, it's doing him no favors. Uh-oh. Okay, very good. Oh shit. Man, professional wrestler Crash Corrigan over here. I mean, think about all the stuff he's done in just the last like 3 minutes. Choking people out, throwing people in the air.
Tightrope walking.
Mm-hmm. Walking on the rope. Yeah, shoot. Yep, shoot it. That'll definitely.
Well,
there you go. There you go. Uh-oh. No! Oh! Wow. And that
was real.
Yep. He really fell down there. He's really gone.
Gymnast Crash Corrigan will survive that fall.
Well, that was the undersea city. So what do we think, boys?
Things are moving along. We've got our villain. He had some more time.
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
are going down elevator shafts
Mhm.
specifically.
Yeah, wasn't that kind of reminded me of Star Wars a little bit, you know?
Did that
The
also happen in the Flash Gordon serial we watched? He fell down a big hole.
I
Yeah.
yeah, he fell
Like,
down
you got
a
yeah,
yeah.
cross section of the hole in that one, so it was even cooler.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
this looked really cool. Whatever they were, I don't know, it looked like maybe it was some kind of matte painting or something, but whatever they did, it was a cool shot. And then of course,
It looks
yes.
like they went to Kohl's and they got a mannequin and they just threw it
It
down an
it
elevator
is
shaft.
just a mannequin, but the background, like the thing that's falling down, all that looks really cool. But yeah, they did just get a mannequin and throw
They're
it
like,
down.
yo, watch this. Put the crash clothes on him, throw him down the fucking shaft.
I mean, again, I read that this had like, I think like maybe a third or even a fifth of the budget of what was Universal was spending on their Flash Gordon serials. So like, that's the thing. There is really not a lot of money going into making
really?
things for this. No. No.
Really?
No. Believe it or not. Yeah. I mean, again, this was a Poverty Row studio, but they specialized in serials. They just, I think, reused a whole bunch of stuff as much as they possibly could. And I mean, so far it's working pretty well. I mean, but this cliffhanger was good. I like the last cliffhanger. I mean, it always kind of, the way that they wrap up some of these cliffhangers is always a little, the abruptness always kind of turns my head a little bit. It gives me a little bit of whiplash because it's like, wait,
It does. It's always so quick.
it's yeah, and it's like I feel like that's not
Boom, and it's over.
that's not enough of an explanation, and we're just on. We're moving on. They're not spending any more time on it. We're
Not
on to
enough
the
time
next
for
one.
this bullshit.
No, yeah, we've got to get on with the plot. We've resolved the cliffhanger in 15 seconds, and now we're into the main action of this episode. So we'll see. I'm sure Crash is gonna fall onto a ledge, or get some kind of rope to swing on, or something of that nature. Obviously, he's proven himself to be pretty capable thus far. So I think he's gonna go splat in chapter 3. He's not gonna die at all. That would be so great if one of these serials would just kill the hero like 3 or 4 chapters in, like early, like, or halfway. Yeah, I mean, maybe halfway would be a little more effective.
I would love
but
that. I would fucking love that.
I mean, again, you think about the serial. Like, well, I guess it's more the Phantom Creeps, where it's like we really didn't have a hero. You could have just killed whoever the hero was supposed to be. I mean, I know there was a hero, but he just wasn't. We weren't really following him.
Into the background.
Right. You could have killed the hero off and introduced a new one every few chapters, and we wouldn't have cared, or it wouldn't have made any difference. It would have made things more interesting, arguably. But Lugosi was obviously the one we were following there. Flash Gordon, obviously. We're watching Flash Gordon get out of a jam every week. So this is no different, but I don't know. It would be nice to see him actually be in danger, but he'll just get right out of it next week. We'll see.
He's just too tough.
Yeah, he really is. I mean,
this man is too athletic to die.
I mean, dude, really? Think about he's been, again, the fighting that he just did in the last few minutes of that was definitely commendable. I mean, he was definitely putting effort into it. I mean, like you said, shaking, just grrr. when he
It
choked
was
those guys
really
out.
intense looking. It really
He
looked like he was
really
trying to
did.
choke them out.
I think he was. I'm sure he wasn't going easy. And, Lon Chaney will show up at some point as a hench person. And I really hope to see him do battle with Crash Corrigan and see if they're stage fighting or really fighting, because
He's gonna choke out Lon Chaney.
I would love to see that. Because, I mean, Chaney liked to, really kind of be aggressive for the camera, because in real life he liked to fight. Like, he liked to get drunk and fight people, and and there were other actors that also like to get drunk and fight. So that's
pastime.
yeah. So that was like a lot of the stories that you'll hear about Lon Chaney Jr. was that he and this other actor would get drunk and fight and break furniture and just cause all kinds of mischief. For fun. Like, they were friends doing it for fun, getting drunk.
Just a hobbyist brawler.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've done that with one of our buddies quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
You just
if we didn't want to be somewhere, we would just start fighting until they threw us out so we could leave.
Great.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good understanding.
Where are you being hailed? Or where are you being held?
Like, if we were just at a get together and there was no cordial way to just be like, we don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
I would pick him up and throw him through the coffee table.
So a French exit is when you just don't tell anybody and you leave. What is this called?
Oh, what's the opposite of France?
What's the opposite of France?
Yeah.
Texas exit?
Yeah, the Texas
this
exit.
Is the WrestleMania exit.
Yeah. I mean, really, that's certainly, and again, you have an understanding going into it. You're like, all right, if we decide we're trying to get out of here, then we've already got our fight plan. You know how to take a fall. You know that when I pick you up and throw you into this coffee table, you're gonna, kind of roll into it and just kind of,
Yeah, make sure the coffee table does not survive.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you a signal whenever I'm ready to leave, okay?
Just throws hot coffee in your face.
I can tell you.
Ah!
Oh, that's the signal.
Yeah, that's your cue.
That's
My
your cue.
eyes.
Now throw me through the table.
I think at that point they would just ask you to leave. I think that it would be.
Yeah, usually they can go too far. It wasn't like, we had to go 2 hours of fighting. It was like, hey, guys, get out.
Leave.
Oh man,
you've ruined this whole evening. You've ruined our party. Never inviting you back. Oh, thank God.
Thank God. Oh, sorry guys. We were really we're really getting into it. Sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's great. I'm gonna have to steal that. That'll be my new go-to move. Next time I want to leave a party at Evan's house, I'll just throw Job into the bookcase, and then that'll be our cue to leave. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
And then Job and I won't get out of there for 3 hours, because then we'll have to pick up all the books and put them back in the order that they were in. Alphabetical order. We're gonna be here forever doing this.
Damn it.
This is a terrible idea. Yep. I already see it. Get ready, Evan. But yeah, I mean, all in all, so far, I'm liking Undersea Kingdom as a whole. It's been, we've dispensed with the exposition pretty much. We got it out of the way in the first episode. Now it's you know, they know Unga Khan is a bad guy. So, in the words of George W. Bush, he's a bad guy. And so now we'll just be doing that back and forth for the next 10 episodes.
Do you think Unga Khan has weapons of mass destruction?
Oh, bro. Yeah, he's got the disintegrating ray. That's like the WMDs of Atlantis. That's like the same thing.
Yeah, except Unga Khan actually has them.
That's true. That's a good point. Yes, this is not propaganda. This is
disintegrating ray actually exists.
Yeah, that's a real thing. It's not just an excuse for Professor Norton to try out his fancy new submarine and get a free trip to Atlantis. No, certainly not. Not sponsored by the U.S. Navy, which is the whole reason that he brought Crash in the first place. Get his whole trip comped by the government. Freeloading scientists. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's been pretty fun so far. So it'll be exciting to see. Hey, what is the title of the chapter for next week? I didn't get a chance to make note of it.
I still have it.
Arena of Death.
Ooh, okay, that sounds fun.
Arena.
Sounds like Crash is going to be doing some more fighting. This is much more.
Great. This is just a wrestling show.
The last 3 minutes that we saw were just a tease for the real wrestling match that's about to come up in this entire next chapter. So that's very exciting. So you'll want to tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m. for that, because that's going to be something.
I think you mean next Wednesday.
Yes, thank you.
Crashlemania.
Yes, Crashlemania. Yes. That's, yeah, tune in. Yeah, you better. It's now I'm super excited for it. Now I can't wait till next Wednesday. So you'll want to tune in for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, this Friday we're getting into our second film for our summer of SCHLOCK, which, you know, this past week we saw Manos, The Hands of Fate, which is our season premiere. We had a lot of fun with that one. Just such a
very schlocky.
Very schlocky, and I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it set like a really high bar. Like I'm almost worried that it's never gonna get better than Manos. I mean, Manos was just so weird that it was interesting to watch, and that's what makes it good. The fact that it's interesting, it keeps your attention, you know? When
it keeps your attention because you're always wondering, why did that happen?
Yeah, well, it's like, wait, why did this actor just jump from left of frame to right of frame? Like, when everybody else, the scene is carrying on, like, it's like, what is happening? It was a wild experience, and I really did enjoy that. And you know, Fresh, did you actually play the Manos game?
I did, yes. It is basically Castlevania.
Okay.
It's good. It's really good. You start out with the pistol. You got the revolver immediately.
Well, there's a category for it on Twitch, so I'm gonna have to start playing. And you know,
I'll
expanding
play it in the corner while the movies are playing. We can do a double stream.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. I mean, you gotta get to the point where you're speed running it, and then you know you gotta show us.
Bro, I'm gonna speed run it, bro. I'm gonna be the best.
I believe it.
World record. You
better the Manos speed run. And then you will
What's gonna put the screen stream on the map.
Yep.
Yeah, the Manos world record.
Manos world record, and your prize, the Hands of Fate, because only the Hands of Fate can get the Manos world record. So we'll see.
All right, so the world record is 17 minutes 52 seconds. That's what we have to beat.
All right. That sounds pretty doable.
But only 6 people have ever ran it, so we should be able to get top 10.
Crack top 10 easy, bro.
Yeah.
I could crack top 10. I'll get in there. All right. Perfect. That is exactly how we'll get Scream Stream on the map. Speed running Manos. No, so we had a lot of fun with that, and no, I am excited because this week's film, we're getting giant monsters back in the mix because we're going to be watching Attack of the Giant Leeches, which is from 1959, and again, the title says it all. Of course, it is. I guess I would say human-sized leeches. I think that's a pretty fair assessment of how big these leeches are. Pretty big for leeches. And your classic sci-fi B horror movie produced by Roger Corman's brother Gene. So, finally got a Corman movie back.
We hate Gene. Fuck you, Gene.
Oh, well.
Roger.
Yeah, so
Roger's so much better.
I'm afraid we might have already watched all of our Roger Corman movies. I gotta double check, but I might have accidentally just shown them all up top. But
all right, we'll give this Gene guy a shot.
We'll have to give Gene a shot.
I only wear khakis.
We're gonna try a little bit of Gene on Friday and see how it fits. And I think the giant monster fit is just our size. I think it's exactly what we're looking for. So it's it is going to be very cheesy and corny and fun, and it's in the takes place in a swamp, obviously, because it's leeches. So get prepared for a hot, steamy, schlocky film this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and
get ready for a hot, schlocky Friday.
Hot, schlocky Friday. And as always, Evan brings us a wonderful cocktail to pair with the evening's film in a little segment, which this season we're calling
it Schlocktail Hour.
Schlocktail Hour.
No music this time? Okay.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fresh Rogan.
The musical stylings of Fresh Rogan.
This week's drink, we've got another semi-original. This is a cross between 2 recipes that I couldn't decide. I wanted to try them both, and we'll talk a little bit more about that on Friday, but this week's drink is called the Leech Bite. It is 1.5 ounces of vodka, 0.75 ounces blue curacao, 6 ounces blue Kool-Aid, couple of drops of grenadine on top, and a crushed purple popsicle. So should be interesting. We haven't. I think popsicle's a new one.
Popsicle is a new ingredient for sure. We have not had that yet.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, we had like a kind of fancy, mature drink last week.
Oh my God, it was so fancy.
I don't want to say that this isn't fancy, but anytime you've got Kool-Aid and a popsicle in your cocktail,
yeah, you can't necessarily call that
going in the other direction.
Yeah, it's not the most fancy drink, that's for sure. But still, it sounds delicious, and
should be nice and cool for our hot schlocky Friday.
Yeah, the perfect thing for Hot Schlocky Friday. If the movie doesn't send a chill up your spine, then the drink certainly will. So we're very excited. I'm very excited for that. Yeah, blue Kool-Aid. I don't even know the last time I had blue Kool-Aid. I get probably in a drink spiked with a whole bunch of alcohol. So this will definitely be kind of a hearkening back to I'm sure that this drink will trigger a lot of memories for me. This taste of Kool-Aid and alcohol.
Of vodka and Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It's gonna bring you back.
Yep, to my college days. Yep, that's all it takes. So
mix it up in a big
yeah,
pool.
Evan's gonna have a big plastic crate to mix it in. That's right. He's just gonna throw the bottles on the floor once he's emptied them out.
It kind of feels like you at least need a fishbowl.
That's even too fancy. College style. You mix it in the container and you serve it in a solo cup. Now, if you want to go restaurant style and serve, because that's the thing, I think that's the step up. College style and then restaurant style in a fishbowl. Sounds pretty good. I mean,
what is it called when you serve it out of a pool?
College style.
Oh, college.
Well, wait. No, I know. So out of a pool, like the whole pool is made of the drink.
Isn't that what we said? You fill it up in the pool.
Yeah, you do like a little plastic pool, like a kiddie pool full of.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
a
like
kiddie pool.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you call?
Yeah, if it's like an Olympic-sized pool, that's called the Kendrick style.
Oh, okay, nice. There you go. Very nice. Yeah. So don't worry, I've got a kiddie pool, so we'll serve it out of that. Be delicious.
We're going for a swim this Friday.
Going for a little swim. Should be fun. So join us for that. That'll be this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Little bit of leech bite, little bit of Attack of the Giant Leeches, whole lot of schlock. So gonna be a lot of fun. Thanks everybody so much for watching tonight. You can go find us out there on the socials at Scream Stream Show on Instagram, at Scream Stream Show on Twitter, and just today at Scream Stream Show on TikTok. That's right. I pulled the trigger. I did it. I tried to do a TikTok before, and of course, the logo that we have with Nosferatu tends to trigger some copyright notices when I use that. So that's what I used the first time I tried to take it to make a TikTok. They took it down. They took the whole TikTok down. So I made a new one, and so we'll have our shorts there, all that good stuff.
We're trying again.
We're trying it again.
I was wondering why when I went to TikTok.com, it didn't exist anymore. They took the entire TikTok
They
down.
just took it all. They said, we got to get rid of this whole thing. Copyright violations will not stand here. We won't put it back till this is cleared up. Yeah, so we are now there also at Scream Stream Show. Of course, we're on YouTube at Scream Stream Live, and I am on Twitter at Spakenstein. Fresh Rogan is on Twitter and Instagram at Fresh Rogan, and Evan is on Twitter at Caligari Cursed. So, anything before we sign off tonight, boys?
Can we get a fresh sign off, little acapella?
Until Friday. Sweet screams, everybody.
Wait for him to finish. Wait for him to finish.
Ah, yeah. Get. Ah, yeah. That's just a teaser. That's just a teaser for y'all. That's not even the whole thing, bro.
The beat didn't even drop yet.
That's just the intro. That's just a good ass intro.
Until Friday. Sweet screams, everybody.
Oh.
And to all, a good fright.